Hi everyone, I'm Bianca and welcome to the third and final episode of Bank of Creativity. And this episode is going to be a chill one because I'm going to have a conversation with an artist. And without further ado, please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Anya Bongato. I'm 22 years old and I'm an artist. Yeah. So actually, I'm a fresh grad. I just graduated last July. Sobrang it sucks kasi nag-COVID, diba? Tapos, right now, I am working at an art gallery in Makati. And on the side, I paint and make art and exhibit every now and then. Yeah, and aside from that naman, dati, pre-COVID, I was actually part of kasi I'm into fitness every now and then. Yeah, so I was part of a fitness org and actually I was part of a dance team ng college. Yeah, pero yun nga, I decided to pursue art.
What made you pursue art besides your other endeavors? Like, when did your love for art start?
Kasi yung course ko sa college, kasi I studied in UP. Tapos, my course there was studio arts. And yung major ko was sculpture. And I decided to drop my varsity at the time kasi I wanted to focus more sa career ko. I felt like I was investing too much time in the wrong place, I guess. And I think it paid off naman kasi with turning my focus nga sa arts mismo, it gave me a clearer picture, I guess, of kung saan yung career path ko. Yeah.
So since you're an artist, who's your favorite artist and what's your favorite art movement or anything favorites about the art?
Well, kung local artist, I connect with Gromiko Semper. Yeah, he's an artist. And si Demetrio de la Cruz and Anton del Castillo, really good local artists. Ano sila I guess I like, maano ako I studied Renaissance art in college and I connected well with it. I like, aside from like yung aesthetics niya, kasi diba it looks lifelike. Aside from the aesthetics, I really like how yung humanist aspect niya na it turned yung study of the human body became the basis of art itself. I really like that fact. And these days, I find myself, I really like looking at Francis Bacon's art then. Aside from, kasi if you see Francis Bacon's art, it's really different from like, I don't know, a Renaissance painting. Kasi it's very visceral. I really like yung expressionist aspect niya na nalalabas niya yung emotions niya through brushstrokes. So, did that make sense? Or basta Renaissance art, tsaka I guess, like contemporary art then itself. Yeah.
Yeah, since you mentioned that you connected well with Renaissance art, what's the artwork that you're most proud of?
I don't think it's gawa yet. Like, I think yung pinaka-masterpiece ko, it's yet to actually be made. Pero I guess right now, I had this painting. I had a painting once. Yeah, I made it during quarantine and the reception was quite good and I think I painted it pretty well. Tapos, I managed to sold it to a private collector for a good amount of money. It was basically this painting of two guys fighting.
Yeah, I think I saw that.
Send ko sa yung picture mamaya.
Yeah, sure. It's really good. I saw it.
Yeah, it's cute in a way kasi it meshes pop art kasi may parang Louis Vuitton monogram siya. It meshes pop art with yung interest ko with Renaissance art, aka yung the way figures look realistically. So I guess ayun yung so far I'm pretty proud of that work. Yeah.
Looking back at your creative journey, and since you've said that you're painting or you're creating art during quarantine, how do you think you've grown as an artist? Like, what are the things that you realized or the things that you learned more about yourself as an artist?
Well, I think with quarantine kasi it's a totally different situation for everyone. If there was one thing I learned about myself, it's that I guess I confronted the fact na most of the time, takot ako when I paint. Like, it's something na I thought I could brush off. Na, I could just force myself to paint like that. And I can. But the fact is, like, the reason, kasi I noticed, I don't know, parang it feels heavy to paint when it shouldn't, right? And I guess with staying at home, I realized na I should reframe how I treat my artworks. Na hindi lang sila, they're not just like a homework or a plate. They're not plates anymore. Like, they should be something na is leisurely. Or if anything, you have to look at your work as something to stress relief dapat siya. Yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah. So, how do you keep creating during quarantine? Like, what's your drive / motivation in terms of
Oh
creating?
my God. Okay.
Kasi sometimes, diba, like, since we're bored and yung iba parang umay na sa bahay. Like, they just wanna go
Yeah.
out. So, how do you keep up this motivation to create?
Well, yung una ko naisip for the money. Because like, I do commissions aside, pero parang I'm thinking na, ayoko na. Pero like, aside from that, kasi, it's weird kasi with social media nowadays, you have like a constant bank of inspiration floating around. So usually when I feel uninspired, I just check Pinterest. Like Pinterest, IG. I follow a lot of art accounts sa IG to like look at new stuff. Tapos I guess kasi I collect books then. Kasi it feels weird. It feels better actually to look at prints than actually seeing it on your phone. And I guess that helps a lot then kasi parang mas active yung mind mo when you're actually holding something and like reading it. So yeah, I basically just look at references everywhere, try to like catch some flow of creativity somehow, and also like I write it down din kasi, or I don't save it lang sa phone ko. In fact, like I write it down on a journal. I have like an idea dump journal. Random thoughts lang on a piece of diary. I don't have it right now. Pero ayun nga, like, I try to browse as much as I can. And yeah, somehow lalabas na din like, you suddenly feel magaganahan ka.
Yeah, I agree kasi that's what we do also. Like, we also have like an idea journal. I don't know if it's required by other people, but yeah, I totally relate to what you're saying na it's better if it's on your hand than just in your phone. So,
Yeah.
as an artist, what makes your day any different from the other? Like, how do you entertain yourself?
How do I entertain myself? It's funny because like I think my stereotype when it comes to artists na they just eat, sleep, paint. For me, nakakabaliw yun. My life din kami. Yeah. I think if there was anything different, I guess it'd be the fact na it takes, how do I say this, a longer time for us to actually sit down and paint than other people. Kasi I think for some people, if they feel like painting, like wala lang, they can just sit down and like paint, right? Pero kasi I think for a lot of artists, nag-iisip sila, nag-overthink sila, and like I guess at times talaga, they'd find themselves just like staring at their canvas or something. Like last night, I was just staring at my work. Hindi ko siya masimulan. And I think that's something that differentiates like a practicing artist with a normal leisurely person. Kasi parang they overthink their work. Yeah. And I think that's both a good thing and a bad thing, honestly.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, with everything that's happening, the COVID, typhoons, and all of the things that happened in 2020, how do you keep a positive mindset, and how does it reflect in your work?
I guess to put it simply, you have to accept the fact na the things happening right now are not positive. And it's totally okay. Kasi accepting the fact that situations right now are not as good as they should be is the first step to actually making something positive. Yeah. And well, ayun nga, accepting the fact na reality sucks and that everything right now sucks. It made me, I guess, view my art differently na hindi naman lagi dapat positive. Like, that's pretty toxic. Like, you can't push some false positive propaganda when life itself, it's composed of really bad things and really good things. Like, dapat may balance yan. And I guess with applying it to painting, whenever you're painting and you notice na, oh, parang it's not looking as realistic as I want it to be, or it's not looking as how I want it to be. And kasi, I guess with most people, discourage sila, they end up putting off their work kasi hindi sila satisfied. And I guess with, accepting the fact na bad things happen, it helps you move forward then. Kasi with how I paint, if a stroke of paint looks weird, dati kasi nagsistop na ako. Pero these days, parang if a stroke of paint is weird, it's a signal for me to, do something about it. Na gawan ng solution. And I think that's an important life lesson din eh. Na if you're faced with some negative thing, it's either, it's either like you hide and run away, which you shouldn't, or you face it and just solve it. Kasi problems like that, nagagawa naman siya ng solution eh, kung haharapin mo siya. And well, if anything, yeah, gawa ng paraan. wala tayong magagawa, may COVID, so things are really bad, pero accept the fact that it's bad. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for saying that, because I feel like that's what we needed to hear. Not just as artists, because I also know other people who are kind of perfectionists, or they stop working when something is wrong. So thank you so much for saying that, because it gives us a different perspective. So I also heard that you have this brand where you showcase wearable art. So can you please tell us more about that?
Oh yeah, so me and my friend, she's also a fellow artist, we created this brand called Eyes Up Here. Basically, premise is we just wanted to paint on our clothes. And ayun nga, it turned out, ang cute pala ng clothes namin. Pero, ayun nga, I guess with these days kasi, it's weird kasi, usually, kikay kasi kami, like, we like going out. And nasad kami dalawa, like, shit. Like, we painted on our clothes nga, pero we can't go out. So, So parang like, I don't know, parang, basically, we just wanted to paint our clothes and like wear our art around, like outside, wherever we go.
What are your plans in the future? Like as an artist and with the brand?
Mm-hmm. Well, aside kasi from like, exhibiting more in the future, which I think I'm headed there naman. I work kasi in an art gallery and kasi I want to explore yung curating skills ko with like arranging shows for other artists. And I guess helping manage the gallery then. So parang aside from my passion in making art, I want to work more on helping other artists exhibit their art. Yeah. And well, aside from that, well, I guess kasi these days, this whole year, yung art ko was sort of centered around commissions. And sa coming years, I'm gonna stop it na. Yeah. I don't like doing things for other people. Yeah. If anything, yung art ko will be focused more on stuff that I make for me, not for others. And with my brand naman, actually, me and my friend were sort of in talks with some people to like make it bigger pa. Pero, medyo hindi pa concrete yung plans nun kasi COVID, man. People have other priorities. Pero, ayun nga, in the back of my mind, okay, I'm gonna try to make that brand even bigger and I guess even more accessible to others. Kasi, I don't think people just see it as clothes or our stuff. And that's totally fine. They are clothes. Pero we want it to be more, I don't know, parang we want it to be an art piece in itself. A wearable, washable art piece. No, we just have to like think more how to push that, premise nga. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like the concept behind it talaga. So, speaking of career and what's a day in your life as an artist or like as an art curator? Kasi like COVID, like syempre it's a regular day. You go to the office or you go to the gallery and then you stay there and then you work. Pero how is it different now during quarantine?
Mm-hmm. Well, it sucks kasi I started interning sa gallery na may COVID. And it sucks kasi nga I had to adjust to a work from home setup. And I go to the gallery every now and then. Pero it's hard kasi I hate working at home. Like nablur yung distinction between rest and working kasi nga you're just at home with your laptop. And well, a day in my life, I guess, on a productive day, I guess, I'd wake up and like exercise a bit. And then I'd work on stuff sa laptop ko, yung deliverables nga for my work. Tapos, usually kasi I paint at night. Like sobrang night owl ko. Siguro, I'd start painting around 11 ng gabi until like mga 3 in the morning. Like, doon ako gising for some reason. And, well, yeah. Ayun lang naman so far. I mean, you can't do much sa quarantine. But I feel like kung walang quarantine, I'd probably be out there more. Yeah.
Okay, so what advice can you give to young people like us who are aspiring to be a part of the creative industry?
Mm-hmm. I guess like, siguro, as much as, kasi you guys, we already have yung passion / interest for making art, right? Or anything, or like any creative output, it's there. You don't have to like find it na eh. You just have to bring it out. And if there was anything na I learned so far throughout my journey, I guess it's to be smart na lang with the decisions you make. And that, kasi ako, I used to base my decisions emotionally, like how I feel. If anything, don't trust your emotions. Kasi emotions are fleeting. They're not sustainable long term. If anything, plan nga how you want to go about your career. Like, weigh out all your options, like, write it all down. Like, siguro, kung wari, now pa lang gusto mo sabihin na parang, oh, I wanna be a full-time painter, full-time graphic artist. Pero from there, hindi lang sapat yun. Kasi wala kang plano eh. You have to lay out a plan. And you have to be smart about your decisions to go about that plan. So, yeah, yun lang. Be smart.
Okay, last question. How can you inspire other people to appreciate art at times like this?
Mm-hmm. Well, nung college kasi, I took up a class na it was about art in the everyday. Basically, the fact that art is present every single day of our lives. We just don't, we just don't notice it. And I guess with the pandemic, it's no joke na everybody's somewhat depressed, right? And I guess art is there to, the way I see it kasi with the pandemic, everybody went to like automatic hibernation mode na we're just waiting for like the fear or the threat to go away. Pero, physiologically, mentally, our body is like shut down. Like we feel more tired, we feel more lethargic and stuff like that. And I guess with art, it helps stimulate our mind na mag-isip to actually, work beyond I guess our hibernating state. And that's the importance of art. It makes us think. And with thinking more, not just in like looking at paintings online, I guess like appreciating then the design of things. So, like there's design everywhere. It's art in itself. I guess appreciating those things nga, it helps us move forward. First within ourselves, pero as time goes on, as as a society, makes us think more. Yeah, so yeah. Did that make sense?
Yeah, it did. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me in this podcast. Hopefully, like we go back for another season. Joke, but yeah, it was so
Go
nice
lang.
talking to you and to know your perspective as an artist during quarantine. I feel like when people hear this, a lot of people would find it helpful kasi yun nga, your perspective is different from others, so it may help other people as well. So thank you so much.